So now let's go ahead and get started with number 1. And again, as I was saying, I don't like writing S or A or B or C. I always defer to what? X. Does everybody agree with me on that? I don't want you to say, hey, it's S, and you put X. It doesn't matter what letter. S to me looks like a 5.
Yes.
And that's why I just don't like it. All right? So I'm going to say X over 77 equals 11. Now, last week on Thursday, we had multiplication. How did I undo multiplication? Division. Today we have division. How am I going to undo division? Guys, it's that simple. It's that simple. All right? So over here now, yes, we're going to work on the mental math. Now, here's where I want you to kind of pay attention, and here's what I want you to do. And later on, you don't have to show all the work, but right now you do. All right? So I'm dividing by 77. Does everybody agree with that? So to get rid of dividing by 7, I have to do what? Multiply by 77. Multiply by 77. Is everybody good with this? All right? So now these cancel. I want you to do that. This is what I was talking to you about.
Yeah.
All right? You have to write all this out for now. And so now X is equal to. Now, there's a trick to multiplying by 11s. So here we go. First, that stays. So that's a 7. Then you always add these two. What's that become? 7 plus 7 is? So you put a 4. And then this 7 would normally be there, but because it was a 14, that jumps up to what? 8. So the answer is 847. Does everybody like that? All right, because I really don't like doing 77 times 11. You'll see why. 7, 7, then that's a 7, and that's a 7. You see where I'm getting at now? So this 7 is this 7. This 4 comes from 7 plus 7. And then you carry the 1. All right, is everybody good on that now? All right, that's a little trick to that. All right, that's what I want to see on your paper for tomorrow now. Make sure you're doing this. All right, now we're going to go on to number 2. Number 2, it says b divided by 25 equals 4. Well, we don't do the division sign. We write them as a fraction. So b over 25 equals 4. Is everybody good with this? Jack, you understand that? All right, now how do I undo division again? So I'm going to multiply by 25. Multiply by 25. And I'm sure everybody in here can tell me what 4 quarters is. $1. So we would say B is equal to what? B is equal to 100. Now I'm skipping a line. All right, I'm going to read back to number 3 now. Number 3 says y over 8 equals 5. Y divided by 8 equals 5. Is everybody happy with that explanation? How do I undo division again? Multiply by 8. Multiply by 8. What's 5 times 8? 40. 40. Wow. All right, let's check out number 4. Let's see how I'm doing. Number 4, 8x equals 72. Does everybody realize it was 72 equals 8x, right? Well, because we're smart, we can just put it in the right order, right? So it'd be what? 8x equals 72. How do I undo multiplication? Divide. So what's 72 divided by 8? 9. X equals 9. Everybody happy with that so far? All right, so let's keep going, except this time I'm going to come over here and put 5 right here. And 5 now is 3c equals 96. How do I undo multiplication? Divide by 3. So c is equal to, how many times does 3 go into 9? 32. Good job. Is everybody happy with that explanation? 3 goes into 9 and 3 goes into 6, right? That's the practicing the mental math. We shouldn't have to be thinking too much about that. Thomas, are you with me today? You haven't said much. You with me? Everything's good so far? All right, thank you, Thomas. All right, here we go. Let's check out 6, please. Let me look at 6 real quick. 18x equals 18. Does everybody see that? It was like this. Here, let me just go ahead and write this out because I don't want you confused. So it was 18 times x equals 18. But when we get to higher level math, we don't write it like that, do we? We would just write what? 18x. Is everybody okay with that? So I'm just going to rewrite it as 18x equals 18. Now how do we undo multiplication? So I'm going to put a divided by 18, divided by 18, so x equals what? 1. Yep, that was the easiest one so far. See, some of them are a little bit harder, so don't, some of them, the numbers are bigger, it's annoying, but you still need to practice. All right? So now I'm going to write down number 7 and see where I'm at on number 7. Listen, we're going to omit the word problem, all right? I'm going to concentrate on just the equations today, and then we're going to go into the word problems later, all right? So here we go for number 8. Now look at number 8, guys. Do you see where it says s divided by 4, right? I would want you to write it as the fraction, I hate s's, x over 4 equals 12. Is everybody happy with that so far? And how do I undo division? Multiply by 4. And everybody should be able to tell me 4 times 12 is obviously what? You with me, Jack? I want you to say the answer every once in a while. Yeah, speak up. I want to hear everybody's voice. That way I know if you know what I'm saying. That's why I get worried about Thomas. He's so quiet. Most of the time, right, Thomas? Right? I know he's not always this quiet. You don't have me fooled, Thomas. All right, so x is 48. Is everybody happy with that? All right, Now, I really want to talk to you about multiplying. All right, so I have k, or in other words, what can I do to both sides here, guys? So everybody write that down. I'll give you time to write it down. That's hilarious. All right, here we go. So now, again, I'm multiplying by 18, right? Is everybody okay with that? So I'm going to multiply 72 times 18. All right. Now, watch how silly this is for me. All right, but this was something that kind of annoyed my teacher because I just didn't like doing multiplication, so I tried to do it as quickly as I could in my head, right? And I just figured out things I could do to make it easier. So please look at this. Does everybody agree that 18 is 9 times 2? Yes. Now, believe it or not, I'm expecting you to multiply 9 times 72 in your head. So what's 9 times 70? Come on, just tell me what 9 times 70 is.
600.
630. And now what's 9 times 2? 18. So now I have the answer to 72 times 9 is 648. Somebody have an issue with that? Not add it. Now I multiply that by 2. Is everybody with me? You understand what I'm doing or not? In other words, I don't really feel like multiplying 72 times 18 because that to me was boring. I can do 9 times 72 in my head and get 648. Now all I have to do is multiply 648 by what? By 2, and that's my answer. All right? So if I multiply that by 2, what's 600 times 2? Close. 1,000. Say it again. Slow down. What is it? Close.
1,296.
Yes, very smart, very smart. Listen, you're supposed to make mistakes right now, right? If you're not trying, then you're making a mistake. All right, you have to try to do mental math in your head. That's how you're going to get smart. Don't just sit there and say, well, everybody else can do it, I just can't. You can't because you're not. All right? So if you don't know what I'm talking about, let me know. I can help you through it. All right? First of all, if I'm multiplying that by 2, now come on, 600 times 2, come on. 600 times 2 is what? 1,200. Right? Now I just had to do, well, what's 2 times 48? 96.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So 1,296. That's how I used to do it. Irritated my 6th grade math teacher a lot. Because he would say, show your work. And I would say, okay. And I used to write little gibberish off to the side and pretend like that was my work and just put 1,296. Right? He was mad at me. I was always what? I was always right, so it was always good. Just kidding. 1,296. Does everybody agree with that? That's a nice way to do it. Now look, tonight, you're just going to do 72 times 18 if you're uncomfortable. But in class, we're practicing. All right? We're practicing in class. All right? Now, I'm on 13 or 10, right? Yeah. So I have divided by 5, so now I'm going to do what?
Times 5.
Times 5. So I'm going to put a times 5 here. I'm going to put a times 5 over there. And of course, you're practicing. Everybody. Girls, you guys are kind of quiet on this mental math stuff. It's starting to get on my nerves. Girls, you all right? Promise? Come on, speak up. I don't, if you're wrong, it doesn't matter. Carly, are you okay over there? You understand what I'm saying? Right, I want you to practice your mental math. I promise you, you will, when you go to high school, the people you'll be in class with, you're going, how do you not know what 5 times 13 is? All right? High school kids have trouble doing that. All right? Oh, really? Because no one ever taught them that. That's what we're doing right now. Everybody should be able to tell me 5 times 13 is what?
5.
How much? All right, so what's 5 times 10? What's 5 times 3? What's 50 plus 15? There you go, girl. Take your time. That's it. That's it. Come on, everybody can do it. I don't care how, how it's hard. I don't care about that it's hard. You got to practice. It'll be easier. I promise by the end of the year, you'll be amazing with numbers. But if you don't do it every day in class, it's not going to be amazing. You'll be sitting next year and I'm going to be screaming at you the same thing. What's wrong with you? You don't know 5 times 13. You'll say, no one ever taught me that. And I'll just go, oh my gosh. I don't have the recordings to prove it to you.
Well,
Well, I'll be teaching you next year, trust me. All right, here we go. So, how do I do 11? How do I undo division? Times 5. Okay, boys, you're not allowed to tell me the answer. Boys, no boys. No boys. C equals. Ooh, Carly, I'm proud of you, girl. Go. 5 times 30. Five times 5. 150 plus 25. Now, listen to what I'm saying to you now. You ready? 15 plus 2. Yeah, so it's 175.
Yes.
Right, so you're visualizing this. Look what I'm saying. Look up on the board now. You said 150 and 25. What I'm trying to get you to remember is these two always are added. And the last number always, because you're adding 0 to it, stays 5. You with me on that? That's like the little key to it. All right, so I'm happy with that. 11, 12. All right. Now, this one is super important. What am I going to do to both sides? Good. Multiply by 11. All right. Now, here should be easy for you if you change 22 to what times what? I can change 22 to what?
2 times 1.
2 times 11.
So.
True?
Yeah.
Right, so now watch. 22 becomes, oh, well, actually, no, I forgot. I'm already multiplying by 11. Sorry, guys. I'm already multiplying by 11. That was my mistake. I was jumping ahead. I was thinking of something else. So now, let's see if you remember the pattern. Do you remember the pattern? 22 times 11. What do I do with this number? Leave it alone. So you put a 2 down. Then what do you do to these two numbers?
You
Add them.
okay, so it's 42.
Right, and then you leave this number alone. 242. Is everybody happy with that? That's the pattern for multiplying by 11.
Why couldn't you just do 11 times 11 then 11 times 11?
No, 11 times 11, and then that answer times 2.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to show you. But to me, multiplying by 11, I already know the pattern for multiplying by 11. You with me?
Wait.
All right. Yes, good for you. I'm glad you're asking.
So I know it's 22 times 11.
Right. So anytime you multiply by 11, Jack, listen to me, please, because I'd love for you to get this. So when you see times 11, people think you're like a calculator because you know this little trick. All right. Here's the trick. The first number, you write that down, 2. The second number, what do I do to the 2 digits?
Yeah,
Add them. What's that?
4.
And then you leave it alone. So this number stays here. This number stays there.
So you just add them.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. So let me get a little wild and crazy on you guys. Look up on the board. Let's get a little wild and crazy, Tom. Mr. Dan, you ready? Don't get so excited now, really. We're going to get wild and crazy like we're having a big party in here, okay? So here we go. I'm going to do this. I'm going to see how smart you are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 11. Go. Tell me what the answer is.
The 5 stays the same.
5.
And then you add 4 plus 3, which
4
is
plus
7.
what?
Oh, 5 plus 4,
Which is
9.
Right. And then you add.
And then you add 3 plus 4, which is 7.
And then you add.
2 plus 3, which is 5.
And then
the
you
1
add.
Stays the same.
Then you add.
Oh, and then you add, which equals 3.
And then.
You put the 1.
There you go. So people would think you're strange if you can do 12,345 times 11 and you just tell them, well, it's 135,795. That's faster than a calculator. All right?
You gotta type.
Exactly. So again, those are little things that make you smarter. All right? So you don't have to do as much. All right? That's a very, very good lesson. All right. So now, on 13 now, I want you to write it as a fraction. N over 18 equals 17. So again, how do we get rid of division?
You do it times.
Multiply both sides by 18.
What's the point of writing down 18 times n divided by 18?
Well,
You're
because you're showing your work. Like I told you, I'm teaching you a process. All right, I'm teaching you to work backwards. So now equals 17. I really don't like doing 17 times 18, so I say 18 is 9 times 2. Is everybody with me on that?
Yeah.
All right. So now we're going to practice 17 times 9. What's 9 times 10? 90. What's 9 times 7? 63. So now 90 plus 63.
153.
Wow, that's nice. 153 times 2 should be mental math.
300.
And
4.
300 and?
6.
Yes, buddy. Does that feel good? 306. That's amazing. Excellent. Excellent work. All right.
It feels good, dude.
All right. So I'm happy with that. All right. Now, let's move across to 14. Oh, now, again, how do I undo multiplication?
You divide.
Divide. So I'm going to throw down a divided by 17 here. Divided by 17. So what is 85 divided by 17? Now, it ends in a 5, so the only possible answer is what? Yes? Yeah.
5.
Okay. This Connor, you gotta leave, sorry.
5.
Yes, of course. Any number that ends in a 5 has to have 5 as the answer.
Yeah.
Does everybody hear me on that?
Yeah.
Now, it might be 15, or it might be 25, or it might be 35, But right now, the only possible answer is what? Hello, the only answer is 5. That is correct. That's being smart. Now, if we want to double check ourselves, what's 5 times 10?
50.
What's 5 times 7?
35.
50 plus 35.
85.
We are awesome. That's right.
I like
Bye.
that.
All right, here we go. Now, again, how do I undo multiplication? No, how do I undo multiplication? Division. Now, on your paper, you're not skipping this now. You're writing down 3p equals 63. And now, how do I undo multiplication? Divide. You with me, girl? All right. Now, mental math. P equals. Now, this is so simple that kids like, I don't know how you're not seeing it. You're just going 3 goes into 6 and 3 goes into 1. Come on now.
26 goes into 6 twice.
63. How many times does 3 go into 63?
Oh, easy. 21.
21, right? You got them trans. You got it backwards. 21. By the way, I have a nice picture I'll never forget. You are dapping somewhere in my.
Oh, I see a picture of Justin.
Yeah, I put some new ones up here. All right, I got you doing your little dance that you like to do. All right, but anyway, yeah, this one. He's always doing
Find
that.
it out.
All right, here we go. Keep on going.
Yeah.
Oh, now look right here, guys. I'm going to show you something else that's very nice. All right, for me, very nice. So 622. All I'm doing is dividing both sides by what?
6.
Dividing both sides by 6. All right, is everybody good with that? Now look, mental math this. This is simple, easy, easy, but some people don't like division. Please watch how simple this is. 6 goes into 22 how many times?
I know.
3 times, right?
Yeah.
How many's left over?
3.
4.
4. 4 is left over. So I put a 4, watch where I'm putting the 4. I put a 4 in the top corner so my brain can see now 6 goes into 42 how many times?
4.
What?
7 times. Oh my God.
7 times. So U equals 37. Is everybody happy with that division?
Yeah.
Good mental math on division. You hear me?
Yeah.
All right. So let's check out 17. What do I have to do to both sides? Hold up.
You divide by 97.
You're awesome. Now, listen to me on this. Don't be mad at me. There's only one possible answer.
2.
Has to be what?
2.
2. I don't understand why people are having any difficulty with this whatsoever. 9 goes into 19 how many times? Twice. Right? Simple. Is everybody good? 2.
I'm just like kind of getting behind your writing really fast.
Okay. I'm really sorry. All right. I'll slow down. I forgot I wasn't writing it anymore. All right. Let me do this. Let me put it on pause for a second, and you guys can kind of get caught up. Thank you for telling me to slow down. All right. Let me pause it for just a second. We got plenty of time. I'm on look at number 18. I want everybody to write 18 down real quick.
9Q.
9Q equals 108. Now, how do I undo multiplication again? Divide. That is correct. Shh. Divide by 9. Divide by 9. Now, again, the mental math for division, make sure you're paying attention. All right? So, in this case, Q equals, hold up, Jack, how many times does 9 go into 10?
90. Or, 90.
9 goes into 10
One time.
one time.
I was thinking
Now, I know what you're totally fine. You're totally fine. So now, how many left over?
1.
So now you put a 1 in the top corner. So now it's just 9 goes into 18.
Twice.
There's your answer, buddy. That's how simple this is. Come on, that's not that hard, guys.
I thought 9 times 8 was 96.
But we want it to be 108, not 96.
12 plus
9 times 12, right? All right, here we go over here on the next one. Dividing by 11, right? Come on, write it down now. Don't get lazy. 11D equals 495. Now, 11D, so I'm dividing by 11. dividing by 11. Now, together, how many times does 11 go into 49?
It goes in 4 times.
4 times. Now, how many are left over? 5. So we put a 5 up in the corner. 11 goes into 55. 5 times. D equals 45. Is everybody happy with that explanation? All right, now we're going to cross out 20 for now. All right, now quickly listen up, and I'm going to stop right here. Your job is to do 21 through 35, but listen, I'm going to go through each one of them. We're going to go around the room. Carly, number 21, how do I undo division? On number 22, how do I undo multiplication?
Divide.
Division. Come on, Bradley, how do I undo subtraction? Addition. Mr. Thomas, how do I undo multiplication? That's correct. No. On number 25, how do I undo multiplication? Division. How do I undo division, guys? Multiplication. How do I undo addition? Subtraction. How do I undo division?
Multiplication.
How do I undo multiplication? Division. How do I undo subtraction? Addition. How do I undo multiplication? How do I undo? Now, in this case, I want you to pay attention. That's addition. Subtraction. And how do I undo division?
Multiplication.
How do I undo division?
Multiply.
How do I undo subtraction? All right. You guys know how to do it all.